Hey guys, hope you're all doing really well. If you're new here, my name is Berna and I'm a psychotherapist and a law of assumption coach. And I specialize in working with trauma survivors. So if you're feeling really stuck and you need some support, feel free to book a coaching session with me. The link will be in the description box below. Okay, so let's get into the video for today. Let's talk about how to make your affirmations more effective. So, a couple things you can do are to just spend some time affirming that you always manifest instantly, or, within the same day, that you manifest really quickly. I think it's also really helpful to maybe spend some time affirming that it's safe for you to have what you want, right? Because sometimes we can have these unconscious blocks to things that we want, right? And you can absolutely have anything you want, but if there's fear in the way, that can be kind of like holding it back, right? So it's a way of keeping you from perceiving that you have your desire now. So I also like to add in affirmations just in general for whatever you're manifesting. If it's money, just tell yourself, like, it's safe for me to have money. There's nothing wrong with having money, right? If it's romance, tell yourself, I've always known that romantic love is safe for me. I feel completely safe being in this relationship with my person. Like, everything about a relationship feels safe and secure and easy. Um, I also really like the phrase no matter what. So try adding that onto your affirmations. So some examples of that would be saying, like, my SP is always in love with me no matter what. Our relationship is always perfect and easy no matter what. Um, I always have lots of money no matter what. You know, my SP is always thinking beautiful thoughts about me no matter what, right? Because it just prevents your mind from arguing with you when you say no matter what. Your mind is like, but, and that's so much of what we're doing when we're affirming is we're creating these new neural pathways and we're reorienting our brain, right? Our brain is so used to, not to make it a limiting belief, but a lot of times, many of us, when we start manifesting, when we find out that our thoughts create our reality, we are so used to being in a dominant state of being either ashamed or, disappointed or in a state of grief, right? Those are just some common themes that I've noticed. So to really just shift out of that over and over again. But yeah, I really like that, adding that on to the end of your affirmations, just no matter what. It just makes it more final. And let's see what else. I also wanted to just share some random, sort of quirky tips and tricks, especially if you're manifesting a person, like a specific person. Um, See if you can change. So, this is especially if you're in no contact or low contact with that person. Like, maybe you're not really seeing them in real life. So, there's a few things you can do. One is I would change their name in your phone to the role that you want them to be. So, if this person, you want them to be your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, I would just put that in your phone instead of their name, right? You could say, like, it could be like my loving girlfriend, with like a little heart. Like, you want it to have a positive feeling when you see it pop up on your phone. You could also say like my loyal husband, or, you could add like a qualifying word if you want. Um, so that's a fun one. Um, there's also, I can't remember the name of it right now, but there are some, I'll let you know if I remember it. I'll post a comment. But there's like an AI messaging app that can be really helpful if you're in like no contact with your person, because you can give that app the name. I'll let you know if I find it, but it's like you could put the name of your person, and then it's almost like you're having these obviously pretend texting conversations with this, chat bot. But it can be really nice if you're like having no contact to just like see those texts coming in. It sort of normalizes it, right? So that when they do start texting you all the time, which they will, this really works. um right, it kind of like makes it more normal that you're like getting all those texts all the time, because sometimes again our brain can just have a hard time with something that's not the norm, not what it considers to be the norm. um Another one, I feel like this one is like kind of uh underrated, or like I've never heard anyone else talk about it, but there are like voice cloning apps now. Again, why not use AI to help you manifest? Um, but I'm sure you could find you might be able to find a better one than me if you're really tech savvy. But there's this one I found called Cloney, like with a Y, Cloney.ai, and yeah, it's just an app, and it's free at first. You have like so many credits to use, and then eventually they ask you to like subscribe. But you basically, if you have like a video of your person talking, or even like a voice message of your person talking, you can upload it, and then you can like write out what you want to hear your person say to you, and you hear it in their voice. And this can be really helpful, especially if you're like spiraling out of control and you just like can't even imagine it. Like, it's really hard to imagine those inner conversations with your person where they're being sweet and loving. Sometimes just like hearing them say it in their voice. So that's, yeah, again, just something to play with. Um, I find it's really helpful for people to do something like that, and then, transfer it into an app where they can like loop it and just like listen to that on a super low volume overnight. Just like hearing your person be like, I'm in love with you, I choose you, I want only you, stuff like that. Um, let's see what else. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Those are the main ones that come to mind right now. I'm sure there'll be more, but yeah, as much as you can, also try to remember, like, you're not just doing this for your person. Like, some people get so irritated. They're like, I can't believe it. I'm wasting all this time on this person, and like, I don't even know if I want them. Try to remember, like, you're really doing this for you. You're learning how to feel a new way, right? You're learning how to feel loved. You're learning how to accept that, yourself in that state, the state of yourself being just like totally doted on, having someone be devoted to you. If you're not used to something, it can be uncomfortable, right? So every time we're affirming, visualizing, scripting, we're just like training ourselves to be a little more comfortable with it, right? We're teaching ourselves, like, actually, this isn't that strange for me. This is normal for me. So just keep going with it and trusting that it is working behind the scenes. And again, even if you're not seeing anything, that doesn't mean anything. Some people do have results and movement happen in stages, and then other people, it happens all at once. I literally just had a client had this experience where, you know, they've been really going for it and affirming a lot, and they were feeling like, and they gave me permission to share, but they were feeling like this isn't really going anywhere, and they weren't seeing like all those steps that I think a lot of people expect, right? Oh, first my person will do this, and then this, and then this. For them, it happened all at once. Like, their person just suddenly was like, after after like years of kind of being at a distance and being like, no, we're not really together, and like, I don't know if I really love you, and all of this stuff, right? And my client was like, I know that's not true. And they just kept cutting through that and affirming. And then all of a sudden, their person was like, I'm totally in love with you, and I always have been. I absolutely want to be in a committed relationship. You're everything to me. Like, they said this all in one moment, right? And the reason they had said that they didn't want to be with them before is like they actually felt like they weren't good enough. This is the SP of my client. So you never, when it happens, it will make sense. They'll say something to you that like makes sense. But it's really trusting like this is absolutely working. This is how reality works. And we're all so lucky that we know about it, because I'm sure all of us have spent time, trying to change things in the 3D and being like, "Ah, I'm doing everything right. Like, why is this not working for me?" So, anyway, I hope those are some good reminders for you. And um, yeah, it really does require a certain kind of like inner, like, I don't know if self discipline is the right word. It's like almost requires a kind of like fierceness or like aggressiveness, I think, sometimes to just like really be like, no, I'm done with the old story. I'm done with this old experience of not having what I want, of lack, of feeling bad about myself. Like, no, And every time we start to notice we're in that state, we start feeling disappointed, we start feeling irritated and annoyed, we just have to be like, no, no, and really, you can look in the mirror at yourself if you want. You can put a hand on your heart if you want. I think that kind of like softens it, almost like you're talking to like a child, right? Because that is who you're talking to when this is happening. You're talking to your inner child. The inner child has all the power. And that's why, it's so important to focus on revision, changing the story for our younger selves, right? When we can give ourselves a better past, it naturally makes the present better, of course, right? We have better expectations about everything when we start creating these new memories of like a much better childhood for ourselves. Um, so yeah, just, talk to your inner child, be like, hey, no, we're not doing that. That never happened. We can change the story. We have all the power now. And I'm happy to lead you through some revision, either in a private session, or I can also make a video, and make a meditation about it. But anyway, those are some ideas for you. Feel free to let me know if you have any other questions in the comments. And yeah, I'm going to be trying to be much more consistent with posting videos. So definitely let me know if there are any topics you want me to cover. And I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.